Welcome everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim. I'm very glad to have you in my lesson. Today we are going to talk about updated IGCSE syllabus, and we're going to have the second task of the IGCSE specimen paper as I'm talking in before. Today I'm going to take task 3, which is a database. But before I'm going to the database, I need to have a quick introduction about the database and what is the database and how I can deal with it in a theoretical way and also in the practical way. So let's start. So in at the beginning, we need to know the definition of the database. So we have the database definition. A database is a collection of data that's stored in a logical format. This is before the database being a computer database. At the beginning, it was data of information stored in a logical format. This data can be paper, can be a lot of documents, so it's data information. So we have the paper database before the computer-based database computer available would before the computer database become available data would keep it on a paper and store it in a filing cabinet. So we keep this information in a paper and we're storing it in a filing cabinet as we see it in here. So quick intro or a quick example for this paper database is doctor surgery. The doctor is use paper based for each patient, and he would have their information, and this information will put in a paper, and from those paper we are going to take them into a filing cabinet to keep them and store them for later on. So this is an example for a paper database. So we have a definition of the database and the first kind of the database, which is a paper database. But this paper database is have their disadvantages. So one of the disadvantages is difficult to search for the data and search for sorted information, because imagine this doctor is working since 1930 and now his clinic or his hospital it's developed to be bigger hospital. So if he work in the classic way as a paper database, he will never find information of a patient that came for this doctor since 50 years. Like an example, it's difficult to find this paper. So it's difficult for sorting the information or searching for a source information. Number two, takes up a physical space and storage. So imagine this doctor working since 1930 until these days, or uh, until our days right now. So he will need like a land, not just one office or one filing cabinet. You will need like an office, home, uh, maybe a land, for example. So here it's takes a physical storage, of course, if you work with this classic way. And third, we have disadvantage of difficult to make a copies of this edit because it's paper. If we need a copy, we'll have to get another paper and write down the same information into another paper manually using the pen or pencil. It's take a lot of time. So here we have the three disadvantages of the paper database. So let's go on for the second type. uh, we have a computer database, and this is our focus here. It's a practical. This is what are going to take in task 3. So we have to talk a little bit about it. We have a computer-based database. Allow the information to be organized in such a way that the computer program can quickly select a specific piece of data. and this program is the Access. We're going to have a Microsoft Access for dealing with the database, and it's allow us to sorting and organize this data in a specific way using this software. So the computer database is made up of tables, records, and fields. We are going to know what are the record, tables, and fields later on. So the advantages of this computer database: using a specific criteria, data can be easily found if we using a specific criteria, and we are going to talk about the criteria later on. And require no physical storage space and can be contain a fast amount of data, because we are using the computer, of course, and we are using a software which is programmable computer application. We don't need space for this, just storage of a computer. Easier to edit and create a copies of this data, of course, because we are using the computer and this application. And reports can be easily generated based on a specific record, and we are going to know what is the record. This is an example of a record, but we are going to know what is the record later on, inshallah. So going to the uh, type of the database, the computer especially, we have the flat file database and the relation database. The flat database is a database contain of only single table of data. We have a table in here. Let's agree. We know in any regular table we have a column. This one vertically is a column, and this one horizontally is a row. Let's change this. Let's change this names to field. This one we will call it a field. This one we will call it a record. This one is a record. The column is a field, and the row is a record. So FR field record. So flat file database contain of a single table of data. So we have a flat file database in here. The second type is the relational database, and relational database is one that contain two or more tables of data connected together by something called relationship, or linked together by the relationship. We have here two tables. The first table is for the customer and the other table of the order. So if we need to connect the customer ID, we need to connect this one to the order table by something we call it relationship. So we will connect the custom ID and the foreign key in here and the primary key in here, and we're going to know what is the relationship later on, because we just will know this as an introduction. So later on we are going to deal with the relation database, and we are going to know how to link two tables together with a relationship or with a link. So we also need to know what is the data type. So different data type. Before creating the database, it's usual that you have to consider that the fields and the records that you are given, each one is correct data type. Example of this field or families of the name of this record and fields. We have the first data type, we have the text and or the alphabet alphanumeric. It's a data made of letters, numbers, and usually sample, and also can include space and specific samples. And this oftenly there is a limit of this long of data. It can carrying amount of 225 characters. So this is for the text. The second type of the data type is the number or the numbers. The number is a numeric data comes in a very different of types. It will be possible to specify how many decimal place to use. A number with no decimal place is currently called an integer in the math. A number that has no decimal place is called real number, and we have to differentiate between the real number and the integer and the long integer and also the double in Microsoft Access 2007. But in our days right now, from 2022 2023 till 2028, we're using the Microsoft Access of the version 21. So when we download the Access, we have to make sure we're downloading the version of 221 of Microsoft package. So also we have a date and time, and for the date and time is data that dealing with the date and times, usually the formatting of it, and it's very important. In our IGCSE, we taken an exam in the format of a date, day, months, and year. So we have to put in our mind when we dealing with the date and time in the data, when we are dealing with the data later on, to put in our mind that to put the format of the date and time in the format of day, months, and year, day, months, and year. So this is the correct format for our use. So also we have the currency and all the samples of the currency, the dollar, euro, and another type of samples and currency sample. And also we have the boolean and logical, and for the boolean and logical, it's a data can have only two values, either to be yes or no, on off, and true or false, and can be also 0 or -1. So this is for the boolean. It's a data have only two values, 0 or 1, true or false, -1 or 0, yes or no. So this is for the data time and data type. And this is just like an example for the data type. This is for the numeric data, the integer, exactly. We have the integer here. The integer number can be negative, positive, and also we have the real number. It's a data type that contain decimal places, and also we have the currency and the type of the currency, euro, dollar, and so on. And we have the percentage also. It's percentage refer to frequent real number that are formatted in a specific way out of 100 with a percent sample. So the real value of 0.5 would be shown as 50%. The value of 0.01 would be shown as 100%, 1%, and the number 1.25 would be shown as 125%. So this is an example of a percentage. And we have an alphanumeric. It's a text, can be a capital number, letter, symbol like this, and it could be an email, it could be a letter, capital letter, and numbers. So this is for the alphanumeric or the text. So this is for the date and time, and we mentioned that the correct format of a date and time is day, months, and year. Day, months, and year. So the day, the months, and the year, and this is the format of the clock, AM or PM, and this is how to write down the format of the data marks. So last but not least, we have the Boolean and logical, and for the Boolean and logical, we say it's a data that have only two values, true or false, 0, 1, -1 or 0, yes or no, on and on or off. So this is for the boolean logical. So Thank you very much for seeing my videos. This is Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim. I'm going to take another lesson starting for the original paper, which is the uh, specimen paper of 2023. We are going to take task 3 inshallah next time. Thank you very much for seeing my videos. Have a good time and bye bye.